I'm just working through the dents around the mouth. Now I've got them all out in terms of the large depressions, and what I'm now doing is going over with a file to get some of the remaining ripple out. Now it's coming along slowly. I'm not too sure how far I'll go with it. I mean, the depressions that are there are very small, and the problem with certainly with me keeping on chasing them, I may end up with more problems than I'm solving. But at this stage I've just been concentrating on this area here up towards the centre. Along here it's quite smooth, the shape is right. A couple of minor depressions. I mean, I could fill them, but at this stage I'll see if I can get them up a bit more. So it's just like everything, just another slow process. I'll probably keep going. As I say, the shape has come back in the panel basically from here to here. That's where I've been working, and as I say, I just need to get some of those minor imperfections out. There will still be some left over, not worried about that. They'll be easily covered with filler. As I say, very shallow. Not sure whether I'll use lead. Maybe I'll use lead around the edge, but I'll see if I can get them out. It's a little bit harder to get them out of the front face, although at this stage it's quite close. But anyway, time will tell. Up on here, this is where the hole was punched through. Now I've put a TIG weld in here, so I've filled up the wasn't so much a hole, it was a split. So I've filled up the split with TIG. Haven't finished planishing that. I actually haven't started. All I've done is file it down, so I need to planish that, but I really haven't started working on this part of the panel, apart from just taking the major dents out, which I have done. I've just got to go through now and pardon me, file this to make sure I've got the right shape and get rid of any minor imperfections I can remove. So still a bit more to do. I'll carry on. I'll take it to a point where I probably could take it a little bit further, but when I reach that point of satisfaction, I'll then move on to cutting the rust out of the panel. I may then come back to it once I've got all the rust repairs done, assemble things up and try and do a final run through to improve some of the finish. It's taken me quite some time, but I've managed to get the dents out. Now it's not a finished panel, still a few undulations in there, but all the dents have been removed, even the very minor ones, and I actually used a file to try and identify most of the dents that I couldn't feel, and even those have been removed. Still a few very shallow ones, so shallow you actually can't feel them with your fingers, but I'll wait until I've done the rest of the panel first. The rust repairs need to be done, both ends, so I'll do those next before I do any more on the panel itself. But at this stage it's finished quite well. I would suggest that even if I used a high build filler, it would probably take care of what's left, but I still may go over it with a hammer and dolly, but as I say, I'll wait until I've got the rest of the panel finished. I'm starting on the repair section to the centre piece, this one on the corner. I have a repair section here made up by Chuck at Monocoque Metalworks. This is oversized, of course, as it should be. I've got to cut it back to line up with where I've got the marks on there. This stage I'm only starting to cut the rusted area back, and then to feed the feed the repair section up. So what I do is to gradually trim the old metal back and look at how much of this I need. This, of course, as I said, is oversized. I've probably got to trim it a bit round here, and I certainly won't need all of this on the bottom. I'm gradually trimming it back. I'd rather not go in too quick and trim too much. I really only need to take the rusted... Good way to bend the panel. I only need to take the rusted section out. So it'll be a case of gradually knocking this down and getting to nice solid metal, and then fitting the repair section up and then cutting that. So I've got a fair way to go. It takes a bit of time. You don't want to cut too much too quickly. It's better to leave it as a piece oversized as long as you can, and then gradually fit it, because I am TIG welding it, so the fit needs to be tight. At this stage it's going well. I've put the guard back on just so I can line up the panels where they joined there. That will actually give me the height for the top of the panel there, even though I haven't trimmed the curved section back. That's the original height. I've chopped some of the panel out there just so I can fit this in a bit better, but by having the panel at the correct height there and there, then I can fit this panel up to match. So a long way to go yet, but it's good to start it. The repair section has now been tacked into position. Just a few TIG welds there to hold it. It's fitting nicely. Took a while to get the shape right, but finally that's done. Now I've got the tacks in place. I'll put a few more in, and then I'll weld it all up. So it should work well. So I'm hoping for not much distortion when I weld, but I guess I'll just see how I go. The repair section's now been welded in place. I haven't bothered to planish it yet, so what I thought I'd do is to continue on this side of the bonnet, which means cutting this rust section out in the left hand wing. So I'll fix this section here, and then when I'm doing that I can actually match up the two panels before I weld this piece. So I might as well continue on this side and finish the repair. When I originally marked this panel out for repair, I chose a larger section to cover any possibility of minor rust holes. The actual amount that I'll end up cutting is a bit less than that. it won't quite go to the wheel arch, it'll be forward of the wheel arch, up to the top of course, come to there, and then it'll gradually rise up on that top line there. The fit in terms of the new bottom panel, this one here, is pretty good. It's good at the front where I've got this new repair section in, and it's probably no more than 1/4 of an inch, probably less than 1/4 of an inch in terms of its line up there. So what I'll do with that, once I've got the new section in, I'll be able to determine exactly how much I've got to add to this top panel. So I'll probably just do a little bit of weld along the edge there and line it up. It's about the same on the other side, very, very close. But the initial thing is to cut this section out, then feed up the repair section I've got and gradually fit that. And what I'll be doing, of course, is fitting it with this panel in place, so it will fit to align with the panel. So that's why I've got this bottom pan on, and once I've got that in place, I'll then move to the other side, but there's a fair bit of work to do yet. First of all, to cut this and fit this, it's going to take a while to fit. It's quite a large section, but it should go in okay. I've been working on this left hand wing for quite some time, still fine tuning the fit. It's almost there. I've got to trim off a bit on the outside there. That's just overlapping the panel. In along here, it's very close. Probably just got to file a few bits along here. It's fitting pretty well in here, albeit I'm having trouble clamping it. Unfortunately my clamps just don't have the reach, so I've just managed to get a clamp in there. I can't get a clamp anywhere else along here. Well, I can, but what it does is it pushes the panel out, which I don't want to do. So all these ones are doing is just a little bit of the clamp protruding. It's just enough to slot the panel in place. I'm just going to have to look for much larger clamps to get into areas like this when I come to weld it. But at this stage it's getting close to the welding. Still a little bit more to adjust. And as I've done with other repair sections, I just keep reducing the size of the metal till I get it right. I don't believe in actually sort of marking it out and saying, okay, well, that's where it's going to go, mark it out and then do one final cut. I'd rather leave a little bit of extra meat on the panel so I can go around and fine tune the fit. So that's why it takes so long. So I've been gradually trimming this panel down from something that deep down to where it is now. You know, some pieces are very thin, and pieces like this. As I say, I've gradually cut it down. Even when I cut this piece out, it still wasn't quite fitting, but I was able to get a reasonable amount of the fit just with the file. But I can get a little bit more, which I'll attempt to do before I actually start welding it. I've finally welded the repair sections in. They've gone in nicely. this front centre section one. All I've done is this stage is just grind the weld back a bit. I haven't planished anything. It had very minimal heat distortion. In fact, I can't even find it at this stage, although I haven't done any fine sanding on it. But I'm going to leave it for the time being, along with the weld here. Now, open it up a bit. This is the repair section on the guard. It's turned out nicely. I have planished this a little bit after grinding the weld back. Once again, very little heat distortion. So I'm very happy with this. The amount of repair in there is quite significant. If you look at the length of it, basically from the mouth to the wheel arch, when you consider the two panels. Once again, I haven't done any fine tuning on the weld, other than just to grind the tops off and a bit of planishing. There's a little bit of work to do, but the amount of work, even at this stage, is minimal. Once I've done all of this, I've still got to do some repairs to the wings. There is rust in the rear of the wings on both sides, so I've got repair sections to go in both of those. But at this stage I want to get the front end all nicely repaired. And I may even, before I move on to the back of the wings, put the big bottom panel on and make any adjustments I've got to make to that. So there's still a fair bit to do on the front, but it's starting to look quite neat. It could be taken up primarily with high build filler, so I'm not too worried about this at this stage. What I'm going to do is to continue with this repair on the other side. Once again, it's a similar damage, so I'm looking at basically from the mouth to the wheel arch. Now this is pretty much a mirror image of the other side. Rust in here, obviously the flange itself is badly rusted. So once again I've marked the maximum amount I would take out. Now what I need to do is go through and look at whether in fact I need to go down that far, which I shouldn't have to. It should be further up, but anyway I'll check that and then I'll gradually fit in the monocoque repair section. So I'll start with this. On the wing, it's almost the same as the other side. Doesn't go quite back as far, but I'll look at whether I need to take it up at more of an angle and replace the flange there. So once again, this will be cut out. It won't be obviously the exact size of that repair section, but I'll make that decision once I've gone through and checked the panel. But anyway, I'll start on this one. This is the starting point, so once again I'll gradually fit the new repair section. Well, this is pretty much tacked in place. Got a couple more to do up the top here, and then I'll do a seam weld through. So it's not a large piece by the time I found the solid metal, but still fairly significant, and it's in a very awkward place to do a repair because of the compound curve in that. So anyway, I'll just put a couple more tacks in it, and then I'll go ahead and seam weld it. Well, this repair worked out well. Once again, little distortion. I've done a rough finish of the weld and taken any distortion out. Just some minor adjustments left, which I'm going to leave till later. Now necessary to work on the guard, so I'll start with that. Once again, I've already got the repair section from monocoques. I don't have to worry about making the repair section, just to spend the time in fitting it. So it's going well.